Well, hello out there. Welcome back. It is I, Dr. Bosky, and we are working on the Dr. Bosky SMHUP, the shoot 'em up or the shooter, if you're old school like me. We're having a ton of fun, and today we're going to talk about power-ups. So without further ado, how about we jump into that? Yes. All right. So basically, as we cruise through the world, you shoot enemies, and if you shoot certain types of enemies or strings of enemies, they will then give you power-ups, or they will do things like fix your health or your ship or things like that. So, and with that in mind, I think I closed Shmup Creator. But within that in mind, basically last weekend I was starting to think about what would those symbols look like in terms of the icons. And so Dimitri, I gave, who's our wonderful artist, essentially this as sort of guide reference. And then I was like, well, let's also think about maybe just generic, like, hey, maybe it should be instead of a cross symbol for health, which makes sense in a normal like platformer. But why don't we think about it more in the context of a ship? And so there I was like, maybe some iconography with like a wrench, right? And so we're about to look at the first iteration, very first from Dimitri for this. So yeah, I think first of all, I really like what we've got going on, and for first exploration, this is great. So Dimitri has the thankless job of trying to understand how we're going to mix all of our styles together. Maybe to give you guys a quick show of what that looks like. So this was the first power-up design that we've taken almost to completion. We're almost there. Dimitri, I'll give you more feedback on this. I need more time to play with what I want for the blinky lights and stuff. But the short of it is, and if you guys saw the power-up video, you kind of understand that I wanted to go with a wider design. We're still working on the coloration for this, but it's not feedback on this. So, but Dimitri is now, as we are continuing to establish our style, and our style is derived from basically these character explorations we've done in the Dr. Bosky universe. So this is a boss character, Gressel. So we're gonna have a whole level that's gonna be about these cyber werewolves, right? I'm not quite sure where it's gonna take place, but maybe it'll be a battlefield or a corporate takeover or something. There's backstories, so we're working on it. But anyways, with that is starting to inform what our art style looks like for the game. And that we have these small things, these power-ups and collectibles and things like that. And so we're starting to chip away at that. So Dimitri is trying to think about how our overall style, which is a bit more of a rendered style. We do a lot with metals, right? In terms of brighter colors, in terms of our color palette. We like the golds and these kind of sea blues, if you will. A little bit of this tarnished gold. This is Dr. Bosky for the folks there. And we have a bit more of this let's anime style that we're still trucking through as well, right? So, but this is also starting to inform what our playership looks like and everything else. But that's enough for the backstory. So with that in mind, I come in and we do part of our process is we get some initial thinking, which I had talked about, and then we do some remixes. So real quick, let me just talk through these. So I'm a fan of the horn design. I like that the horn design is complete in this case in terms of rings. I don't think we need the cross designs for this. I think I'm much more into, I think the wrench here. So I also really liked this exploration with these wider, I think outer ring points, and then these have these little hooks here, which give kind of these electricity lines. So I think Dimitri, what I want to do is let's see a version with these outer bits. Let's definitely do, I think, the wrench. I think some feedback here is I think the wrench is just a tiny bit too flush with the inner ring. And then we'll drop the inner ring anyways from this. So, but it'll be here, right? And then the other big thing is that, whoa, hey, microphone's jumping around, trying to escape the Dr. Bosky. What we're trying to do, what I envision, right, is that the inner icon and the wrench are actually, they kind of seem like they're 3D. So they have depth to them, and that they rotate inside of the ring elements, right? So yeah, I want to try that the extra bit there. I do like these little nodule things because these would be cool to animate. Also kind of like these. So I think, why don't we try this? Let's try a version where we have these animated bits over the top. We'll go with the two top and bottom primary ring designs. We'll go with this for the inner side. Let's shrink it down just a little bit, not much, so it has time to breathe. And then let's work on an animation rotation for that. So I'm also thinking color palette wise, we'll move more towards like a brighter orange. Can still be green as well. So we'll explore that. And then, yeah, I really appreciate the exploration. I think those are the main bits. So this was really close because here with the horns, I could see the outside rotating and the inside rotating, and then the icon rotating as well. Actually, that's some good feedback. Dimitri, I would love to see a version where we use the inner wrench and we use the inner ring here and the outer ring design, and we use that. So let's mix that together. I think that would be pretty sweet. I want to see a version of that, and we'll drop the cross side from that. I think that's it. For the folks out there that are watching and following along, thank you very much. We very much appreciate you. If you have any questions or comments, put them in below the video. We try to get to them whenever we can. And if you have any feedback or design thoughts, or if you want to be part of the early playtest group for some of the levels because they're starting to come together, then you're more than welcome. Just reach out and we'll be in touch. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.